If you're happy and you know it, play in the snow. One of the most beautiful things about life is change. And I share that with passion and enthusiasm, but I also ask the question, how do you handle change? Are you a master of change or are you a victim of change? And a lot of people get really upset when things change. Well, when I went to bed last night, it was clear, stars in the sky, the moon was out, and the ground was dry. And when you wake up in the morning and the world has changed, completely changed, everything's gone white. Now it's just weather and it's beautiful and I love it. But life is full of change, and how do we handle it? How do we accept that life is going to change? Because there is only one constant in life, and you'll probably hear this from all the motivational speakers, that everything changes. The only thing that we're really sure of is that change is going to happen. But that particular statement could be really a really important one point to understand, of course, and accept. But more importantly, how do we handle it? And I was given a great toolbox a very long time ago about how to handle change. And I really want to thank my parents for this. I was brought up in a small country town in Australia. And we moved from there when I was 8 years of age. So I went to a small school, 24 students in the whole school. And then we moved to Melbourne, which was a big city and a big school. And I think there was 40 children in my classroom. And a lot of people talk to me, now as an adult, they talk to me about how their life was terrible when they were a child because they had to go through so much change. Well, from moving to Melbourne, Kanan and I have since worked out that we've lived in over 100 places in 100 different houses or more, and we've had constant change in our life. And when you know that life is going to change, when you accept that life is going to change, when you get excited that life is going to change, and I'll just make a point now, I don't know if you can see it, but it's not snowing now, it's raining, which means it won't be long before the rain will take the snow away and it'll be muddy and it'll be changed again. My dogs will love it because they love running around in the mud. Isn't it interesting and isn't it exciting that just keeps happening? And something as simple as nighttime to daytime, we have summertime and wintertime, we have good times and bad times. How do we learn to accept it? So my parents gave me this great tool on how to handle change, which was they literally just took me through lots of different changes. And I think that if you get used to something, if you're put through something, if you have to experience something, then you're obviously better at it because you're not scared of it. But if you do it over and over and over and over, then you're not scared of it at all. And I always use the example because around here there's lots of bungee jumping, parasailing, people jumping out of planes, people rock climbing. And I'm pretty sure that the first time that people did any of those things, it was probably pretty scary. It was a change to normally sitting in a plane to jumping out of one. It was a change to normally walking across a bridge to jumping off one. And the first time you do something, it's probably really scary. But when you do it over and over and over, it's not scary anymore, and you develop ways to handle things. So my other question there, though, is what will we accept as far as change goes, and what are we excited about? Because sometimes change happens and we just accept it because, oh, well, the government's changed or the economy's changed or we can't go there anymore because the government said we can't do that or the rules have changed, and we seem to accept it. So there's an interesting headspace again that was put into my toolbox is don't accept what people give you just because for the sake of it. Why would you change something? There's that business quote, if it's not broken, don't break it, don't change it. There's another concept there that if it isn't broken, you should break it because there's going to come a time when somebody else tries to break it or change it, and wouldn't it be better if you did it rather than somebody else did it? So one of the things that I ask myself every day, and particularly when you wake up and the day looks like this, and yesterday it was dry, I always ask myself, Rowie, how will you get stronger today? How will you get better today? How will you improve your headspace today? How will you get wiser today? What will you learn today? And I'm always aiming to learn from every single day. And is it possible that that's a great way to handle change? Is accepting that it's going to happen, learn from it, grow from it, get better because of it, and make sure that that's a continuing process. So if you need to change, and there's a really interesting question, if you need to get into shape, if you need to get healthy, if you need to have a better financial situation, if you need to change your job, if you need to be a better parent, if you need to be a better coach, a better leader, they're all changes that we have to make. Now, this happened today, the weather happened. I have no control over the weather. I just accept that it's changed. But there are some things in our life that we have to choose how to change. Obviously, as adults and coaches and leaders, sometimes we try and change other people. The psychologists and psychiatrists are very clear with me on this one, Rowie. You can't change other people. They have to want to change themselves. And I spent a lot of my life wanting people to change, in trying to inspire people to change, motivate people to change. And I have learnt now that I'm an old lady and been on the planet a really long time, that people will change when they want to. And I use this example. Smoking is an interesting habit that a lot of people have taken up. I would never go up to somebody and say, don't smoke, it's bad for you, because people have the right to do whatever they want to. But when somebody comes to me or somebody comes to you and says, please, can you help me stop smoking? I want to change this habit. And there's a very important word there again, change. The psychiatrists, psychologists and neuroscientists suggest that we can't get rid of a bad habit. We can just change it, exchange it for a new one. So whatever's happening in your life right now that is changing, love it, accept it and be excited about it. If you can't, or if you don't have any control over it, wouldn't that be awesome? I can't control it, so I'm just going to learn from it. And if there are things that you need to change, could today be a great idea? If you look out your window and something's different, something has changed, could that be a stimulus? Could that be an epiphany to say, how about today I'm going to make the changes that I need to change? Because if you leave it till tomorrow or the next day, that produces the habit of procrastination. And I don't know about you, but seems the world procrastinates on a lot of things. I need to get fit. I need to get a new job. I need to be better at what I do, but I'll do it tomorrow. And that maybe that's the change, that if something needs to be done, do it today. If you need to be disciplined, that's the ultimate, isn't it? Do it today. Don't wait till tomorrow, because every time you wait till tomorrow, first of all, tomorrow never comes. Every time you do something to wait till tomorrow that should be done today, it means that tomorrow's stuff doesn't get done, and it just becomes a silly cycle of procrastination, not getting done, becoming undisciplined, and then you've got to change the habit of undisciplined to disciplined. So how about enjoy the changes that you can't change, that you have to accept because you've got no control over them, learn from them and grow from them. And how about the things that need to be changed? How about change today? Wouldn't that be awesome? Woohoo! Gotta love the snow, gotta love the snow, gotta love winter, it's a change. Woohoo!